Welcome to the Game of Sales, the podcast where strategy meets skill and every move counts. I'm Desi Barnes, your guide to mastering the art, science, and hustle of sales. Now, let me hit you with this question. Are you moving fast enough to win? In sales, time isn't on your side. The longer a deal drags, the more likely you are to lose. Momentum dies, clients stall, and worst of all, your competition steps in and takes the win. Today, we're talking about speed, the silent killer of slower reps, and the unfair advantage of closers who know how to play the game. In this episode, you're going to learn why speed is the ultimate weapon for winning deals. How do you respond first, take control, and set the pace? How do you use urgency the right way without burning trust? This isn't theory, this is a playbook. If you're tired of stalled deals, missed opportunities, stick around because today you're learning how to dominate the speed game and close faster than ever before. Let's play to win.
One, two, three, four.
I want to tell you a story, a painful one, but a story you need to hear. A rep I worked with, Tom, was chasing a $150,000 deal. Tom did everything right, almost. He delivered an amazing demo, nailed the objections, and walked out of the meeting thinking, this is in the bag. The prospect said, send us your proposal and we'll get back to you. This is where Tom made the mistake that kills most deals. He got comfortable. He thought I'll send the proposal tomorrow. I don't want to seem too pushy. Here's what happened. While Tom was waiting for the perfect time, the competitor wasn't waiting at all. They sent a follow up email that afternoon, thanking the client, answering a couple questions, and including a clear and easy to read proposal. By the time Tom sent this proposal the next day, the client replied, thanks, Tom. We've already moved forward with competitor X. They were responsive, proactive, and made it easy for us to decide. $150,000 gone. Here's the lesson. Speed wins, hesitation kills. In sales, when you delay, you lose control. And when you lose control, you lose deals. So let's make sure this never happens to you again. Today, I'm giving you the exact tactics to move faster, create momentum, and close deals before your competition even knows what happens. Let's jump into tactic 1. Let's start with the first and most critical tactic. Respond first always. Here's the deal. 78% of buyers go with the first vendor to respond to them. If you respond within 5 minutes of a lead coming in, you're 21 times more likely to qualify that lead. Speed doesn't just get you the deal, it sets the tone. It says, I'm here, I'm reliable, and I'm ready to help. But most sales reps lose this battle because they're just too slow. Some of the top excuses I hear all the time are, I don't want to look desperate. Let me be clear. Speed is not desperation. It is professionalism. I need time to craft the perfect response. Here's the truth. Perfect doesn't win. Fast and valuable wins. I'm too busy. If you're too busy to respond to a hot lead, you're too busy to close deals. How do you fix this? Let me give you a simple 3-step framework. First, stop overthinking every response. Have pre-written templates ready for common situations. Here's an example. For email, hi, thanks for reaching out. I'm excited to connect and learn more about your goals. Are you free for a 10-minute chat today or tomorrow? Here's my calendar. For LinkedIn voice notes, hey, I just got your message. Thanks for reaching out. I'd love to connect and hear more about what you're looking for. When works for you? Save these in your CRM or Notes app so you can respond within minutes, not hours. Speed doesn't mean working harder, it means working smarter. Use tools like HubSpot or Street to get alerts when leads open your email. Follow up then, they're already thinking about you. Use Calendly to remove back and forth scheduling. Add your calendar link in every email. Imagine this. A prospect clicks your email. 2 minutes later, you are calling or sending a follow-up note. That's how you win. Finally, if you're too busy, set up 3 speed blocks every day, 15 minutes in the morning, midday, and late afternoon, responding to new leads. Here's the results. You'll move faster than 90% of your competition without losing control of your day. Here's my challenge to you. For the next week, respond to every lead within 30 minutes. No exceptions. Track your results, and you'll see how much speed changes the game. Alright, let's move on to tactic 2, creating urgency without burning trust. Now, we've all seen urgency done wrong. You know the type. You need to sign today, or the deal is done. This is a one time offer. This kind of pressure doesn't feel like an opportunity. It feels like manipulation. And what happens? Prospects runs, they ghost you, they don't have a reason to trust you. Here's the reality. True urgency doesn't come from pressure, it comes from value. Your job isn't to corner the client into saying yes, it's to show them why saying yes now benefits them. Two reasons why this works. Number one, humans are wired to prioritize the immediate. We respond to timelines, deadlines, and quick wins. Number two, we fear missing out on opportunities. If moving forward now means solving a pain point, saving money, or gaining an edge, the decision feels logical, not forced. Today I'm going to show you how to create urgency the right way that aligns with your prospect goals, keeps momentum alive, and makes everything moving forward feel like the only smart choice. Let me tell you about James, a business to business rep who lost a $40,000 deal simply because he didn't create urgency. James had been working with a mid-sized healthcare facility for months. He delivered great demos, sent detailed proposals, and built solid relationships with the decision makers. But there was one problem. James never gave them a reason to move quickly. He let every call end with, "Let me know when you're ready to move forward." Fast forward 3 months, James got an email we all dread. The facility replied, "James, we really liked your proposal, but our Q4 budget got cut. Unfortunately, we're going to have to hold off until next year." Here's what's happened. James assumed they'll move forward on his timeline. He didn't tie urgency to their goals, and as a result, the deal stalled until it died. If James had said something like, "If we get started this month, you'll see your results before Q4, which helps you stay ahead of your staffing needs," that might help the deal move forward. Here's the takeaway. Clients don't always see urgency on their own. It's your job to help them connect the dots. So let's break this down. Here's how you create urgency that feels like an opportunity, not pressure. Step 1. Tie urgency to the client's goals. Urgency works best when it's tied directly to what the client wants or needs. Here's what I mean. Imagine you're talking to a healthcare staffing agency, and their biggest pain point is filling shifts before flu season hits. You could say, "If you get started this week, we'll have the lead system up and running within 3 weeks. That means you'll start filling shifts before flu season kicks in, and you'll stay ahead of the staffing shortages everyone else will face." Here's why it works. You're connecting speed to their outcome, not yours. You're painting a picture of what happens if they move forward now. Another example. Let's say pricing is a factor. Instead of saying, "This price is going to go up next week," you tie it to value. If you lock this in by Friday, you'll save 15% and free up that budget for other priorities. Notice the difference? You're not pushing, you're giving them a reason to act now because it helps them win. Here's the first challenge. On your next call, listen for the client's timelines and their goals. Ask yourself, how can I tie urgency to what matters to them? Step 2. Use time sensitive value, not pressure. Let's talk about deadlines. Now, I'm not saying you should make up fake time limits. That destroys trust. But you can create real time sensitive value that motivates the client to act. Here are a few examples. Time limited incentives. If you finalize this by Friday, we can lock in this quarter's pricing before next month's rate hikes. Capacity or demand. We only take on 3 clients per quarter. and we're holding a spot for you until Friday. After that, we'll need to revisit availability. Tangible results. If we get started this week, you'll see your pipeline filled with qualified leads before next quarter's big meeting. The key here is that urgency feels logical. It's not a threat. You're showing that the client why now is the best time to move forward. Ask yourself, what's one real deadline or value driven incentive you can offer on the next call? Set it up, deliver it with confidence, and watch what happens. Step 3. Control the timeline with micro commitments. Finally, let's talk about micro commitments. Small time-bound steps that keeps momentum alive. Here's the problem with most sales calls. They end with open-ended phrases like, "Let me know when you're ready." That's a death sentence for momentum. Here's what you need to say instead. "I'll send you the proposal today. Let's schedule 10 minutes tomorrow to review it together." "I'll block off Thursday at 10 a.m. for us to finalize the next steps." Does that work? By setting small, specific timelines, you're doing two things. One, you're keeping the client engaged. Two, you're subtly controlling the pace of the deal. Think of micro commitments like chess moves. Every small step moves you closer to closing. Here's your nano challenge. End every call or email with a specific time-bound next step. Never leave things open-ended. Take a moment and ask yourself, 1. How often am I tying urgency to the client goals? 2. Am I offering time-sensitive value or am I relying on pressure? 3. Do I control next steps with micro commitments or do I leave things open-ended? Be honest, because in recognizing where you're falling short is the first step to fixing it. Alright, let's move on to tactic 3. Streamlining your process to remove friction. Here's something you might not realize. Every extra step in your sales process creates friction. Every unanswered question, vague next step, or clunky handoff gives your client a reason to pause. And when the client pauses, deals stall. The smoother and simpler you make your process, the faster deals close. Period. Think of it this way. Your process should feel like sliding down a greased up water slide. Once your prospect steps in, there's only one way they're going, forward. Today, I'll show you how to identify friction points, simplify your steps, and create a sales process that moves prospects effortlessly towards yes. Let me tell you a story about Samantha. As a SaaS account executive, Samantha was working a huge deal, a $50,000 contract with a mid-sized firm. The demo went well, the client loved the product, and all that was left was getting the proposal out. Samantha sent the 11-page proposal as a PDF loaded with technical jargon, 3 pricing options, and a long implementation plan. Then she emailed the client, "Here's the proposal. Let me know what you think." Do you know what happened? Crickets, silence. She got ghosted. When she finally followed up 2 weeks later, the client said, "Honestly, we liked the product, but the proposal was overwhelming. We didn't have time to sort through all of the details." Here's the problem. Samantha made the decision too hard. The client didn't know which option to choose, the proposal wasn't clear about next steps, and instead of creating momentum, it created confusion. The deal died, not because the product wasn't great, but because Samantha made the process too complicated. Here's what I told Samantha. Your job as a salesperson is to make it easy for the clients to move forward, not hard. Let's break this down. If you want to remove friction and streamline your sales process, follow these 3 steps. Step 1. Simplify the decision with a 2-option close. One of the biggest friction points in sales is overwhelming the client with too many options. You think you're being helpful, but you're actually creating indecision. Here's the solution, the 2-option close. Here's how it works. Instead of sending a long list of options, give the client 2 clear choices. Option A, the most straightforward solution that solves their immediate need. Option B, an upgraded version that adds extra value. Here's a script you can use. I've outlined two options for you. Option A solves your main pain point, and option B includes additional feature and value. Which one feels like a better fit? This does two things. One, it simplifies the decision making process. Two, it keeps the client focused on choosing, not delaying. Less friction, faster decisions, more wins. Here's my challenge. On your next proposal, offer two options only. Keep it clear, simple, and easy for the client to say yes. Step 2. End every call with a specific, time bound next step. Here's where most reps drop the ball. They let calls or emails end with vague phrases like, "Let me know when you're ready." That's friction. You're leaving the timeline up to the client, and most of the time, they'll drift off or get distracted. Your job? Take control of the next step. Be clear, specific, and time bound. Here's what it looks like. Instead of, "Let me know when you had a chance to look at the proposal," say, "I'll send the proposal today. Let's reconnect tomorrow at 2 p.m. to review it together. Does that work for you?" Or, instead of, "Let me know if you have any questions," say, "I'll follow up on Thursday to see if you have any questions or feedback." Sounds good? These micro commitments keep the deal moving. You're giving the client clear next steps and you're staying in control of the process. Make this a rule. Never let a call or an email in without locking in the next steps. Step 3. Time box your meetings to keep momentum. Finally, let's talk about time boxing your meetings. Long, drawn out calls are momentum killers. Clients don't have time and you don't either. Here's what to do. 1. At the start of every call, set a clear time limit. Example, "I've got 20 minutes today to focus on solving X. Let's dive in and make the most of it." 2. Stick to a timeline. Wrap up with the next steps before time runs out. Why does this work? It respects the client's time. It keeps the conversation focused and productive. It creates a sense of urgency to make decisions faster. Time boxing shows that you are efficient, prepared, and in control. Prospects appreciate it and it keeps momentum alive. Here's your challenge. On your next call, set a time limit up front and stick to it. Watch how smoother and faster things move along. Take a minute to reflect. 1. Where are the friction points in your process? Is it in your proposal, follow ups, or meetings? 2. Are you making it easy for your clients to say yes, or are you slowing them down? Be honest, because once you find those friction points, you can fix them. Let's bring this all together. Today we talked about how speed is the greatest weapon in sales. You learned three key tactics to dominate the speed game and close deals faster. Tactic 1. Respond first. Set the tone and take control. Speed builds trust and positions you as the reliable choice. Use templates, automation, and time blocks to respond faster than your competition. Tactic 2. Create urgency that feels like an opportunity. Tie urgency to your client's goals. Use real deadlines with value and set micro commitments to keep the deals moving forward without pressure. Tactic 3. Streamline your process to remove friction. Simplify decisions with the two option close. Always end calls with a clear next step and time box your meetings to keep momentum alive. Here's your challenge this week. Implement one of these tactics on your next sales call or follow up. Whether it's responding to leads within 30 minutes, tying urgency to value, or locking in clear next steps, you have to take action. Track the results and see how much faster your deals move. The speed game isn't about rushing, it's about being prepared, proactive, and sharp. Sales is a battlefield, and speed is your edge to win. I want to thank you for listening to Game of Sales, the podcast where strategy meets skill and every move counts. If you found value in today's episode, do me a favor. Share this with a teammate or a friend who needs to hear it. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next episode. Speaking of next episode, we're diving into advanced closing tactics that take your sales game to the next level. You don't want to miss it. Thanks you for joining me today. I'm Desi Barnes, and I'll see you next time on Game of Sales. Now let's go get that win.
1, 2,